Welcome to the virtual conference of the project Bachelor Meister. The Bachelor Meister project is co-funded by the European Union under the Erasmus Plus program. First off, I would like to introduce myself and the organization coordinating this project. It's the Hanse Parlament. The Hanse Parlament is a network of today more than 55 chambers of commerce, chambers of crafts and similar associations, and 20 universities. And we've been cooperating since 1994, and since 2004 it's a legal association, and the office is located in the free and Hanseatic city of Hamburg, Germany. Our overall objectives are to develop a strong, innovative economic region of world standing again, and we think the best way to do this is by promoting the small and medium-sized enterprises. Why do we care a lot about the small and medium-sized enterprises? Well, because they are the living blood of the European economy. 99% of all companies in the European Union are small and medium-sized enterprises, meaning they have less than 250 employees. They provide up to 70% of all jobs and 80% of all training positions. So they are the most important economic actor. And also they are family owned, which means they are responsibly managed, because a family owner with maybe 10 employees does think twice before relocating his business to a low labor cost country like China, for example. So if you want to have a strong region, you need to invest into the companies in the region, like the SMEs. We do this by developing several measures. We did innovation projects for SMEs, design workshops, matchmaking events, many publications. We ran a virtual company register. We did seminars on how to start your own business, how to internationalize your products and your services as a company. We had several business forums. We worked together with the policymakers, and one of our main objectives at the moment is the qualification. And we have a clear focus on the dual education. So the dual system, the combination of theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge, is something we try to implement in as many projects as possible. So in the last years, the Hanse Parlament, together with its sister organization, the Baltic Sea Academy, developed many successful projects. For example, we realized more than 12 dual bachelor degree programs, or 682 innovation projects with small and medium-sized enterprises. Our goal is always to combine the business world with the academic world, with the educational world. And we think the best way to do this is to have a strong cooperation between the two worlds, like it is happening in the dual education, for example. And this is where our partners and members are located. The pink dots are the chambers of commerce and chambers of crafts. The yellow dots are the universities and educational providers in the region. And how do we work? Well, usually it's like this, like you see in picture number 1, a business owner is facing a problem. Most of the times he can find a solution on his own, but sometimes if it's a more strategic political problem, he might ask for advice from his regional chamber. We try to collect all this advice from the regional chambers and the challenges the SMEs are facing. And then we try to come up with a solution together with the experts, that could be the universities or other knowledge institutions. And then this is very important. Once we find a solution how to help the SMEs in the long run, we train the business chambers, the intermediaries or institutions of higher education, to implement this measure together with the SME in the country, because it's easier from the language point of view, but also from the business culture. And then in the end, hopefully the business owner is happy. And the Bachelor Meister project is also funded on the challenges that SMEs are facing. Because at the moment, the SMEs in Europe face 3 big challenges. The first challenge is that we are realizing the skill shortages, and there's a gap between the labor market needs and what the educational providers are delivering. So we need to overcome this large and growing shortage of skilled labor. If you think back maybe 10 years, around 2005 to 2010, then one of the biggest problems for most European countries were high numbers of unemployment. Nowadays, the biggest problems for SMEs that really limit their capacities to grow is the lack of skilled workforce. In some countries, we have a high level of academics, like in Poland, up to 70%. And at the same time, still a rather high academic unemployment, but not enough trained people in the vocational sector and professionals. So the educational markets and the labor markets are imbalanced, and we are trying to find solutions to realize or to overcome this gap. The second challenge we are facing is that we need to close the entrepreneurial gap and secure the transfer of businesses. More and more companies are retiring. They have started their business maybe when they were in the early 90s, when they were 35 to 40 years old, and now they're 65 to 70 years and think about retiring. And we have a clear lack of successors. So most people from universities are trained to start their own business, but we should focus more on training them to take over existing companies. Actually, the European Commission found out that more jobs are lost in Europe due to failed transfers than more jobs are created by startups. But still, the focus is most of the time startups, and we need to change this. The third challenge is that, of course, we need to raise the skills and strengthen the innovation level. The small and medium-sized enterprises, especially the small and medium-sized enterprises actually, cannot compete with the low labor cost countries like India or China. We just have to deliver better products and better services, and this asks for better qualifications. So we need to raise the level of innovation and skills. And these three challenges actually are the most important ones we have to cope with. And they're the same in all European countries. In all the countries, there's a clear and fast-growing shortage of leading personnel that restricts the growth of SMEs. And still, and also in Germany, a large proportion of young entrepreneurs is attracted to vocational training, in particular to the master craftsman training. And that's something we need to bring to other countries to see the possibilities and the rewarding experience of being a trained master or trained in the vocational training, not only to study. However, in most countries, the vocational training has lost much of its attractiveness, and master craftsman training is only recognized to a limited extent internationally. So the reputation of vocational training in many countries is not as good as it should be, because it's, if you look at the labor markets, they're in high demand and the salaries are extremely good. So the objective of the project is to develop a dual bachelor study course that combines the two degrees. So you have the academic bachelor degree and at the same time the vocational master degree or Meister. And that is really the main objective of the project, to have an education that is delivering both gradations, the bachelor title, the academic gradation, and the Meister title, the vocational training. It's a very ambitious project, but we were very happy that we were able to succeed. And in the next minutes and the following videos, we would like to introduce you to the measures that we've developed. So we will hear a session about the qualification and recruitment of young entrepreneurs and managers. The next session is how to train and become a master craftsman and civil engineer. The third session will deal with the innovative training for master craftsman and electrical engineer. The fourth video will give an example from Finland, how to recruit and train entrepreneurs in Finland. Then there will be a session how important it is to also focus on the business transfers, and different business transfer models will be introduced. And then we will hear about the models and experiences of successful training of entrepreneurs. And then there's some time for questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to send an email or also ask us during the live conference later on. Thank you very much for your attention and enjoy the next videos.